This is the Rangers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Texas Rangers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh, man, that was rough. Is Jacob deGrom done? Are the Rangers done? Well, here we go. Welcome into the Rangers POSTCAST, your team every day. RK's your team every single game. My name is Jeff Biggs, longtime host and reporter. Great to be with you and Locked On the number one sports podcast network in America. Don't forget, Bryce Patrick will be back with you tomorrow, and he will have more on this game tonight. He'll get you ready for the weekend in Sacramento against the A's, where the Rangers will now try to snap what is a 3-game losing streak. Not only did they lose to the Angels tonight, they get shut out by the final of 7-0. Want to let you know that today's episode is brought to you by Kalshi. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code Locked On to get $10 when you trade $10.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Well, lots to get to, and we want to hear from you via the Rangers comment crew. We will do that coming up. Hard to think the Rangers offense couldn't get any worse, but they found a way to do so, and they did. The story, though, this one, Jacob deGrom leaving after 2 innings with triceps fatigue. And, initially, if you watch the game way back then, it looked like it was deGrom's hip issue that was flaring up again. He was kind of limping a little bit, looked like he was kind of favoring it and just didn't look comfortable, and looked like it got worse after I think a 33-pitch second inning, whatever that was. And so that's what we thought it was, but turns out it was triceps fatigue. So don't know yet what that means. I'm going to look during our timeout and kind of see if Sean McFarland has anything from inside the Rangers clubhouse. But, deGrom did a good job putting up a 0 in the bottom of the first, but in the bottom of the second.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Yeah, just tough. Just another nightmare start for deGrom in Anaheim, another nightmare game for the Angels in Anaheim. deGrom in that bottom of the second inning, Angels jumped on him for 5 hits, getting a couple of runs, and then deGrom was done. The Angels, though, they were not done. They showed in the bottom of the fourth that was the case.
Uh-oh, somebody messed up, and it's time to let them know with who fudged up.
Yeah, just a really, really bad display of baseball for the Rangers in that bottom of the fifth, not the bottom of the fourth. And the Angels loaded the bases with nobody out against Jordan Montgomery, ended up tacking on 4 more runs, and it was officially a blowout, 6-0 before the Angels added 1 more in the 7th. Just not a good night all the way around. And the Rangers have now lost 4 of 5, 3 in a row to the Angels. They're 2 games under 500 at 60-62. They end up with a record of 1-6 in Anaheim this season. And they are now also a half game behind Detroit for the wild card. So my big takeaway, you got two competing, storylines in this one. Number one, Jacob deGrom. He just did not look. He had 3 strikeouts, so he is still 2 strikeouts away from 2,000. All right, but if with this triceps fatigue and the hip issue, you can't help but think that the chances of him finishing the regular season are getting slimmer by the day, if that's a word, right? It just does not look like he is going to be able to finish. And, it just goes back to just the the whole, like the pipe dream of being able to have your two big dogs in Nathan Eovaldi and Jacob deGrom together leading the team on a postseason run, and it just does not look like that's ever going to happen. And I'm not trying to be a downer here. I hope I'm wrong, but it's time is undefeated, as they say, and we'll see what happens with the lockout. But both deGrom and Evo, I mean, they've been pitching a while. They've been pitching at a really, really high level, and at some point, mentally you're there. Mentally, you're probably even better. Mentally, you're sharper, but your body just cannot keep up, and the body breaks down, and it just happens to everybody. Some longer, some shorter than others. Obviously, everybody's different. And then there's the other big problem, the Rangers offense. I mean, to get shut out again against a rookie pitcher, Alf Good Call with the Walmart name, to get shut out in this game, it's just, I don't need to pile on. I mean, you can say embarrassing, humiliating, demoralizing, whatever word you want to throw out there, but it's just not acceptable, and it's just not winning baseball. And we saw this last year, and I know some people have brought it up. I've brought it up several times throughout the season. I mean, the Rangers had the pitching last year. They had the defense last year. They just could not hit. And we've seen this movie before. Thought that this year was different. Thought they had turned a corner. But again, really, since the All-Star break, they've just fallen off a cliff offensively. Good to see Wyatt get a late hit the way that he did. Maybe that'll get him going in Sacramento. I will say this, and I don't mean this as this is not me being a shill or sugarcoating anything. I mean this with all sincerity. For whatever reason, the Angels just absolutely own the Rangers. Not Ray Davis. The Angels own the Rangers, and especially in Anaheim. I mean, it's unbelievable how much better the Angels play there against the Rangers, and how much worse the Rangers play there against the incredible. Like honestly, it's you talk about fluke things and hard things that you can't give an explanation for. That's it right there. And so they're done there. I fully expect, hopefully, the offense to come back to life a little bit here over the weekend, and we'll see. Now it's up to Kumar Rocker and Mackenzie Gore and Cody Bradford to see what they can do and try to give this team a chance to win some games in the A's and then get back home. And really good, encouraging news on Jack Leiter, who made his rehab start 2 2/3, allowed just a hit and a walk with 3 strikeouts, but felt good. Was really throwing the ball well. Sounds like he'll probably be back on the homestand. That would be great to get him back in the mix. I don't know. As bad as tonight looks, they're still technically alive. I mean, they're 2 games behind the Astros in the West, a half game behind Detroit for that third wild card. So there's still, 40 games left. They have an opportunity to start winning and play better baseball. They're not going to play the Angels in Anaheim anymore. That's a plus. But it's hard when you watch a performance like tonight. It just pushes all of those old buttons from last season, where you look at this team and you just think, man, there's just something missing with this team. I mean, there's just something, I don't mean to be redundant or repeating myself, but I feel like I'm saying it over and over again. Like, this is the time to step up. This is the time when you get fired up and you're excited and you can see the opportunity to get to the playoffs. You've done all this work. I mean, you've been, grinding at it since March, and you've all this time. I mean, no time, your days off aren't really days off. It's not like you're relaxing or anything. You're taking care of stuff. So you're grinding all this time, and you have a chance to make the postseason and make the playoffs. And instead of stepping up and rising up to the occasion. This team is just they're collapsing, they're choking. And it's just tough to watch because you want to see them do well. You want to see them be the best that they can be, and they're not. And I mean, again, the defense looked bad. I mean, you can just go down the list. We've talked about it before. The outfield needs just an organizational boot camp. Justin Foscue had another rough night at second base. You wonder about his time. And you just look at the roster, and it just does not look, with your eyes, it just does not look like a championship caliber roster. Now, when they're winning and everybody's clicking and everything's going great, they look good. But the reality is, the record says they're 60-62. That's who they are. That's what they are. So I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's officially over because that would be foolish. But losing 3 in a row and these really bad losses, it's hard to get optimistic. This is one of those demoralizing series losses where you don't know. The can they recover? We'll find out. But clearly, this is a player problem. This is a performance problem. This is an at-bat and defense problem. And the players, they've been playing baseball for a long time. They need to step it up, and they're not doing it right now. All right, when we come back, want to hear from you via the Rangers comment crew. Also, we'll try to find out what's going on with Jacod. If there was any other update, let you know about that as well. Real quick timeout. Great to be with you. This is the Rangers POSTCAST. Well, it's a big week. It is back to school week, and we want to say a big thank you to our friends at Amazon for this limited break. For this back to school season, spend less on your kids with Amazon. We all know how crazy the back to school shopping experience can be. It starts with a few items on the list, and then suddenly you're shopping for supplies and clothes and lunch gear and tech and about 10 other things that you didn't see coming, and it really adds up fast. And don't forget, you got that last minute panic, 9:00 the night before school, and somebody suddenly remembers that they need folders and notebooks and apparently 12 other things that nobody bothered to mention until now. Nothing gets the heart rate up quite like that emergency school shopping. I am convinced that Prime's Deliver Tomorrow Before 7 a.m. feature was created exclusively for parents in this moment, right? Had to. So remember, with Amazon's low back-to-school prices, just spend less on your kids because every dollar you don't spend on them is a dollar you haven't spent on them. Shop back to school at Amazon and spend less on your kids. All right, welcome back to the Rangers POSTCAST. Rangers shut out in Anaheim by the Angels, and 7-0, the final. And let's see, I want to give you a quote here. Skip Schumacher said, "I wasn't going to risk it once I heard the tricep." Skip said about Jacob deGrom's exit. Nothing yet from deGrom. So we'll have to wait. Either you can check yourself after the show, or I know Bryce will have a full recap tomorrow on the Daily Rangers podcast. All right, a couple of really quick announcements. Number one, I need to say this again. Look, this is not a me thing, but it's me, but not just me. Locked On, StreamYard, everybody involved with what we do. There's a certain decorum policy that we all have to adhere to, myself included, and that means no really off the wall, nasty name calling and just stupid stuff like that. So I just want you to know, if you go there and you post those kinds of things and say those kinds of things in our conversation, it's deleted like that. So do yourself a favor. You want to jump in, you're fired up, you're passionate, you're upset, that's fine. Just do it with class. There's a way to say things without being a jerk, without using childish language or name calling. Be an adult, be classy, lead by example. You be the difference. Okay. And then the other thing, really, really important here. Uh, it's a whole TMI thing with the whole industry. The bottom line is I have to be out by 20. So if I don't get to your comments, just know it's nothing personal against anybody. I'm going to try to get in as many comments as I can. We're here for you every single game, so there's plenty of opportunity, but I have to be done by 20 in that 20-minute mark, or I am in trouble. All right, let's get to Isaac. Isaac says, bottom of the fifth, and the Angels have just blown it open. Apparently, the Rangers have plans for October and are hoping for the time off. Ouch. Ray says the only reason Chris Young keeps his job is going to be because of the lockout. Ray Davis needs his fall guy. Chris Young has failed putting a competitive offense together for 3 seasons now. Can't argue with that, Ray. This offense has just been, I think across the board, offense. I think you look at some of the pitchers, the expectation, the hope has been a whole bunch of guys that are not getting paid, $30 million a year would take big steps forward, and it just has not happened. It just hasn't happened, period. Why didn't deGrom accept the trade? That's 48 Simpleman. He wanted to stay, likes the team, likes the group, and felt like they had a chance to win. He looked like he backed that up when he started over the weekend. Hopefully this triceps thing is not major or severe, and he can still finish the season. I don't think he will, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope he can. Tyler says, I know there's not much that can be generalized from one series. I know there's still a decent amount of baseball left to play, but can't help but feeling like we're done. Yeah, they just, like I said, they were in a pretty good place before the break, and coming out of the break, they've just not been the same. The mojo, the swagger. Yeah, they had a little winning streak in there, but they're still, they've reverted back to a lot of the bad issues, the giving up runs early, falling behind early, not scoring late, not being able to rally, not being able to get the clutch hits. Guys like, and I'm not trying to pick on Jake Berger, but Jake Berger was benched tonight, given the night off. I mean, Jake Berger going like basically 2 weeks between RBIs, just stuff like that. It just you're not going to win that way. You're just not going to win that way, period. Alf says, your team's at a low when we can't score on Walmart. Thank you for that, Alf. Appreciate it. And let's keep it going, Alf. There's another one from Alf. Ray, we already heard from Ray. I'm just trying to get some different people in, guys. But I read all your comments. Train Guy says, I really don't want to be a doomer, but the Rangers are not making it easy. They better not win, but sweep the A's. Otherwise, this team isn't worth my money, considering everything's expensive. Well said. Blast Beat Requiem says, if the Rangers were trying to demonstrate the merits of going to bed early, their success could scarcely be more absolute. I got to say, Blast Beat Requiem, you're a very, very well-written wordsmith. I love I always not only learn something, but I always think when I read your posts. So thank you. Thanks for your contributions. And let's see if we can get one more. Isaac, there's Isaac. And here's one more, final one of the night. Jim's jolly. deGrom deserves a better offense, wasting his final years. Yeah, I just hope, like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see kind of a last hurrah for deGrom and Eovaldi, but it just seems like we saw it this year, last year, it's just harder and harder for them to stay healthy and to be at the top of their game. And it's even when they're healthy, they're hittable now, and it's just not quite the same. And that happens. It just happens. But hey, big start. Kumar Rocker had that meltdown last time out, and so big start for him on the road tomorrow night against the A's. Really looking forward to seeing what he can do, and maybe he can give the team a spark. Hopefully the offense will be a little bit better. I will be with you another late night tomorrow night, but I will be with you after the game. Hopefully you can join me then. I appreciate you guys staying up late. I really do. I'm not just saying that. Much love to you guys. Thank you for all of your help and support. We'll do it again tomorrow night. Don't forget Bryce Patrick back with you tomorrow. Final score tonight, Rangers get shut out. They drop 3 in a row to the Angels, 7-0. This has been the Rangers Post.